Ladies and gentlemen, Bayer Leverkusen have finally done it. They have ended Bayern Munich's 11-year consecutive Bundesliga title run. The first title winners since Borussia Dortmund to take it off Bayern Munich, and what a feat it was. Welcome back to the Players Own YouTube channel, and welcome back, a bit delayed, but my reaction video to Bayer Leverkusen finally getting a hold of the Bundesliga title. They have dominated all season, staying unbeaten, absolutely deserve the Bundesliga title. I'll probably make a separate video, talk about it in a podcast about all the Bayern's troubles, but even if Bayern were at their best, they probably still wouldn't be able to stop this high-flowing, incredible game style and belief that Xabi Alonso has instilled into this Bayer Leverkusen side, who continue just to defy expectations. And this season, we're in the video talking about it, but the treble is still on here for the Leverkusen side, who've continued to impress us since day one. And let's take you back to day one, I guess, in many regards. Xabi Alonso took over this side, and they were sitting second bottom in October of 2022. And it was their second worst start to a Bundesliga season since 1979. So rock bottom. Leverkusen were struggling. The players weren't responding. There was a real negative, pessimistic sort of feel around the club. All of a sudden, fast forward a few hundred days, and now we are sitting here with Leverkusen winning their first Bundesliga or first division title in over 120 years. And Xabi Alonso this season's got his side to play 29 games in the league, 25 games won, averaging 2.7 points per game, scoring 74 goals, only conceding 19, and with the 15 clean sheets. And with the way they play their attacking style of football, to only concede 19 goals and 15 clean sheets, goes to show the talent in this squad and the way they play so efficiently their football. I'll touch on, I guess, individual players in a bit, but we know this 5-back system that has basically become a 3-back in many regards, with how many numbers they throw forward, how the wing-backs like Grimaldo and Jeremy Frimpong push on and become second wingers to overload wide areas. You're basically left many times 2-on-3 on the counters, many teams trying to exploit that at times. But when you've got so much attacking quality and so much overwhelming attacking presence, like what Leverkusen have got, teams are just forced to defend, are forced to sit back in and absorb pressure for long periods of time. And like we've seen in recent weeks, they get the job done. Obviously, they come off the 5-0 win over Werder Bremen to secure the title, and rightly so. It sort of summarises the team they are. They will batter teams. They'll continue to dominate. They'll bring players off the bench like Florian Wirtz, who's been, the staple piece of this team, the golden boy that's sort of built around. He comes on and gets a hat-trick after coming on just after half-time. That's the style of football the Leverkusen play. And it's a real team mentality. I'll get into some of the players in a little bit, but rested a large amount of the team in the last game out there versus Werder Bremen, but still get the job done. You rest your two superstars at the wing-back positions, and you still get the job done. You rotate up front with Boniface being out for large periods of time of this season, yet Borja Iglesias steps up, Patrick Schick steps up, but when he comes back, Boniface keeps scoring the goals. You've got guys like Hoffman coming in across and producing a great job there in that double number 10 role they've got. It's just been a remarkable story. It's been really great to follow this season, especially on our midweek podcast. Me and Nathan have talked a lot about Leverkusen, a lot about their style of football, and it's been fascinating to see how this style, it does correlate to the likes of Pep and Arteta, but it's its own entity, it's its own style of football, and he's brought across that Spanish possession, high attacking, on the edge of the opposition's area style of football to Germany, which in many regards is a very attacking league, but there's a lot of counter-attack, end-to-end, ping-pong style of football. Xabi Alonso has brought across this attacking style of football that just dominates teams and doesn't allow them any chance to breathe. It's overloading wide areas. It's a constant theme of finding the wide spaces, producing with possession, and creating an overload of chances. So many chances that teams just don't have a chance to breathe at times. It's really Spanish style of football coming to the Bundesliga. I'll tell you what, been a success so far, and hopefully it continues to be a success. Obviously, we know he's going to be there next season. It's a question of now, what can they do, obviously, end this season off, or what could happen next season now with these players? Do a lot of the players stay? What does Xabi Alonso build here at Leverkusen? Because it's a very, very dangerous side. Obviously, currently on a 43-game unbeaten run in all competitions, which is the largest unbeaten run in the last 60 years in the top 5 leagues. Once again, more stats producing and showing the talent and quality in terms of the management here for Xabi Alonso. And then some of the names, I said I'd list a few off. Boniface, despite his 2 or 3 months out with injury problems, he has the 18 goals. Florian Wirtz with 17 goals. Jeremy Frimpong with 12 goals from right wing back. Grimaldo with 11 goals from left wing back. Patrick Schick, the most clutch man in world football at the moment, with 11 goals. Florian Wirtz become the first German player in the last 30 years to have 15 goals and 15 assists in a single season in Europe's top 5 leagues. And then I'll touch on quickly here some of the players they've brought in, which have been so important for me. With his first season in charge here, Xabi Alonso, he's brought in the likes of Nathan Teller, a versatile forward, a right wing back at times, someone who can produce in that number 10 role as well. Victor Boniface coming across, superstar. Just simply super. I don't know the word to say. He's been a player with Garassi that are just strikers that don't give him an inch, any second chance. Otherwise, they'll score. If you give him space and time, he'll put the ball in the back of net. A clinical striker, a dangerous striker. We saw what he did yesterday, scoring the goal from the penalty spot. But he's had so many different ways he's gone about scoring his goals. And the fact he's back in this Leverkusen side, his multifaceted style of football, the physicality, the pace, the clinical nature. We know how good Schick is in front of goals, but Boniface is the complete striker in many regards. So watch out Europa League, watch out in the DFB Pokal final with him back. And begin Granit Xhaka from Arsenal, a player that's gone and won a league title after bottling it in many regards last season. A real leader in that midfield alongside Robert Andrich. Bring in Hoffman as well. Coming across this Leverkusen side, I thought it was more of a step backwards in his career and sort of a chance to retire in a squad that's a bit younger to sort of mentor this squad. But he's sort of been a role player at times this season, playing in that sort of second number 10 role alongside Florian Wirtz at times. But also coming off the bench to have impacts there with his creativity and smarts on the ball. Borja Iglesias comes in on loan as well, important player during January. Hasn't scored a goal, I don't believe, for Leverkusen, but being so important for their build-up play. And someone just to fill stopgap while Boniface was out injured. Obviously, they're bringing Grimaldo, the superstar Spanish fullback from Portugal. Did we think he could do it in the top 5 leagues? We didn't know, but he has produced at such a high level this season for Xabi Alonso's side. And also Stanisic coming across from Bayern Munich and being a pivotal figure in terms of a role player, coming in and playing some big roles there in the core of that Leverkusen side. And they didn't just go one way. They lost some big players as well. Record signing for Aston Villa, Moussa Diaby, Amiri, Bellarabi, key players that have been around this club now for a few years, staple pieces of this group. Callum Hudson-Odoi left back, returning from his loan as well. So you lost some big players that are part of the squad last season and years prior. You've been some younger faces who are yet to prove themselves, but they've absolutely done that this season, especially like Boniface and Grimaldo. A lot of question marks if they could do it in the big leagues, if they could convert here in this Leverkusen side. And they absolutely have gone and done that, and probably two of the 5 best players in this side. I look at this side, and I think Grimaldo probably the second best player for me. Jeremy Frimpong probably the 4th or 5th best player. Boniface in there as well, probably the 4th or 5th. And then for me, the number 1 guy, as I said earlier, is Florian Wirtz. The young German has just proved he has got what it takes, and I cannot wait to see what he does in the Euros alongside Jamal Musiala. In many regards, in all the big games, it was Florian Wirtz who stepped up. His ability to carry the ball, that vision, the one-touch passing at times. I think his passing array is up there with the likes of Kevin De Bruyne. And I said it earlier in the year, and I was a bit nervous saying it, but I can say it with confidence now. The guy has that just knack to finding the right pass, but he's got that modern number 10 style of football where he can get into dangerous areas and score good goals. He's not afraid to take a long shot or two or test the goalkeeper. He's just got the full package for me, and that's why I cannot wait for the Euros to show what he's all about on the global European stage, because we've seen it in the Bundesliga, but the Bundesliga doesn't get that much attention that it deserves. And his Leverkusen side, people are just discovering here in the back half of the season. But you look at the front half of the season, these players were doing this since the start of the season, producing this high level, working together in this squad, in this 5-back system that allows sort of a 3 with the ball, would allow those wing backs to push on to help protect that back 3. You've got Robert Andrich and you've got Granit Xhaka there as a holders. You've got those 2 dynamic diamond type number 10s, Hoffman, Wirtz, Nathan Teller, and then up front, whether it be Patrick Schick, Boniface, and Borja Iglesias, you've got that central striker that can do a lot, that are clinical finishes. It's a perfect system. It's solid in possession. It allows you to have a width with the wing backs. Those 2 number 10s can drift out wide as well, allowing the space to open up for those midfielders like Robert Andrich and Granit Xhaka to push on for midfield. It's just such a dynamic system. And yeah, as I said, I think this season you can say it's been led by Florian Wirtz. The youngster has broken all the stats, you can either say. he's due a big move. Will it come next season? I don't think so. I think he'll stay with Xabi Alonso. They'll try and do some damage in the Champions League. They'll try and go back-to-back in the Bundesliga. So he'll definitely be there for that. But after that, if Xabi Alonso leaves and goes to Real Madrid, or he goes to Liverpool, or does he end up at Bayern Munich again after next season? I don't know what's going to happen with Xabi Alonso, but I'm highly likely to see Florian Wirtz go across with Xabi Alonso. We can't forget as well, he was out with a serious knee injury the year before and missing a lot of football, but he's come down here, put his right foot forward and continued to be such a superb player for his side and so important for the football they've played this season. For me, their player of the season with what he's done individually and then a part of the group as well, providing for other players, setting up the plays, transitioning the play very well, and always being a danger in front of goal. And obviously Grimaldo, who comes across from Benfica, in the Portuguese league there. Always someone that's been talked about at a high level, but once again, we've seen players in the past not convert coming from the Portuguese league to the top 5 leagues in Europe. This guy's hit the ground running, and the wing-back position has suited him and Frimpong so well. It allows them freedom to push forward. They can use their creativity and their wizardry of the ball at their feet. The numbers have just been ridiculous season. Obviously, he's got the 11 goals to go and show for that. The free kick goals, the assists from whipping into the danger areas, and the important assists at that as well. You look back over the last month or so where Leverkusen have got late winners or late equalisers. It's normally the man there himself, Grimaldo, whipping the ball in to a likes of Patrick Schick or to the Robert Andrićs of the world to put the ball in the back of the net. And he's just been, for me, their most consistent player. I think Florian Wirtz's output's been the best and most memorable in the X Factor, but in terms of consistency across the whole season, across these 8 months so far, he's been the guy for me. Hasn't missed a step this season, always picked, probably one of the first names on the team sheet for Xabi Alonso, and absolutely performed at a ridiculously high level this season. And I guess when you talk about, you're always going to face some problems in the season. I guess for Leverkusen, it was balancing Europa League football, obviously coming off that 21-22 season struggling, starting 2022 really poorly, then somehow scraping in to get Europa League football, and then this season balancing that in now to a quarter-final most likely, after probably going to beat West Ham there as well, going to a DFB Pokal final, and then dealing with the injury of Victor Boniface, who was up there amongst Guirassy and Harry Kane in terms of the golden boot there in the Bundesliga. He went down injured in an important time there over the Christmas period, over the start of the new year, where you need these players because games come thick and fast. But they dealt with that so well. So they face a lot of adversity, this Leverkusen side. It hasn't all just been picture perfect for them. And, games where they deserve to be winning, they find a way to grind out a result. When you think they might, lose a game, they find a way to get a draw. And that unbeaten mantra they've kept all season is just phenomenal. It screams perfection. It screams what Xabi Alonso is all about as a player, which was making the smart move, always being in control of the game, the mental side of the game, outthinking your opposition and being clinical and being smart with the ball at your feet. And it's correlated to this Leverkusen side so well. It's his first major job, Xabi Alonso, in one of the big clubs, and he's shown he has got what it takes. And I think he's destined for that Real Madrid seat once Carlo Ancelotti steps away. You think about the way he's controlled this group and developed this group. Imagine what he could do with some of the best players in the world. I'd be scared to think what that team could go and do. And yeah, he's not up against the Peps at the moment or Carlo Ancelotti's or the Simeones yet, but he's got to be in that conversation or on the brink of these guys. Yes, it's been 1.5 seasons, but this 1.5 seasons is arguably some of the best we've ever seen. This is trumping Leicester's Premier League season. This is trumping some of the best leagues and seasons we've seen put together in the last 5 or 10 years. Obviously those Man City sides are much better, but with the way they've turned this group around and the way this group plays their football, you've got to compare them to some of the Man City sides that have gone on to win Premier Leagues and FA Cups. Very easy comparison to Arsenal. With the way they play their football and the way that Mikel Arteta's turned that group around as a young manager. The belief in this group is just phenomenal, and I hope they keep winning, and I hope they keep this unbeaten streak alive, because I'd love to see them go invincible with the treble and show that they've got what it takes and put the Bundesliga on the map realistically as well. Because I think it deserves much more attention than it currently gets. An exciting league and really spearheaded by this Leverkusen side. A few other players I want to talk about is that back three. I talked about how aggressive this style of football is, a lot of possession, a lot of pressure high up the pitch, but it leaves those back three quite exposed when you've got Jeremy Frimpong up there, basically as a right winger. When you've got Grimaldo as basically a left midfielder, pushing high up the pitch, supporting that midfield. You've got the three left alone at the back. And I tell you what, these three together work so well. Tapsoba, the big, strong, solid guy who's great with the ball at his feet. Jonathan Tah as well, quite strong as well. More the leader, that core of that back three. And then Hikampe, who is someone that I absolutely loved. Got their attention midway point of the season. Has continued that great form. Silky smooth in the ball. Great speed. And as together, they have that physicality. They have that size. They have that mobility, the versatility, the ball-playing ability. And you've got Herdesky in behind him in goal. It's just a perfect group to have at the back there when you do get counter-attacked now and then, or when you're not having control of games. They're such a great back three. They can deal with a lot. They can cover so much ground, and they've been so resilient this season. As I said, they've only conceded the 19 goals this season in the Bundesliga with the 29 games they've played. Like, that is phenomenal what they've done there, considering how aggressive and how attacking they play. Clean sheets versus Bayern in that 3-0 win. Keeping clean sheets against some of the best attacking teams in the league. Not being troubled by the likes of Stuttgart, not being troubled by the likes of Dortmund. They continue just to show that this back three, Tah, Tapsoba, Hikampe, Stanisic when he goes back there as well. It's just such a strong, robust back three that doesn't give any quarter away. It is so solid, so versatile, and players that will be worth a lot of money come the summer if anyone wants to try and take a punt to them. Hikampe coming for not much either, sort of under the radar. Jonathan Tah, always been a part of the squad and had a few chances to play with the national side, but never really went on with it and produced at a high level. He's now producing that level there as well. And Tapsoba, a few links to Tottenham during the summer, but no one really wants to take the real punt on him. Now look what he's done. He's produced at such a great level here at Leverkusen. It's just been the perfect fairy tale story all over the park. But in many regards, in the same way, it's not really a fairy tale story. It's a side that's well put together, well drilled, coached so well, and players playing to their level. I think this isn't players exceeding their potential right now. I think this is players just producing what they can do because they're put in such a great system, behind such a great manager and great philosophy. And I think this is the way forward. I've said it a lot on the podcast, a lot in these reaction videos. To go forward and progress the football side in this current climate, you need to be bold enough to play that attacking style of football, to make yourself vulnerable at the back, to throw numbers forward, to invert the fullbacks or push the fullbacks on to the bar line there. I look at Girona, their versatility in their formations, the way they swing a left back to centre back to the central defensive midfield, from deep line midfield to a number 10 role with dynamic front threes. You look at Leverkusen here, the ability to throw numbers forward, throw their wing backs forward, have two midfielders that are holders back and both go and score from the edge of the area, to push numbers forward, to have 20 to 30 shots on goal a game. To Bologna, a really underdog story with Thiago Motta's system of working in sort of groupings, throwing numbers forward to the football, playing out of the back. Arsenal, Manchester City as well. All the big clubs in the world, all the successful teams in the world right now are playing this aggressive front-footed style of football. And I think, obviously, Pep's nailed it. But I think Xabi Alonso has built his own style, his own version of it. And it's something that teams around the world are going to have to adapt to, because it is so overwhelming playing this Leverkusen side right now. You ask Bayern, you ask Dortmund, you ask Augsburg, you ask Stuttgart, you ask all the big teams in Germany, you ask teams like West Ham in the Europa League as well. It is impossible to stop this team, and it is impossible not to watch them. I love watching this team go about it and play their football. As they secure the title with a 5-0 win over Werder Bremen. That goes to show what this team's all about. Attack, 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 chance creation after chance creation. Incredible ability to back, and absolutely deserve this title this season. I cannot wait to see how this team goes next season as well. I think they'll go and kick on and go up another gear as well. What a group. What a group, what a manager. A great field story, but it is a deserved story nonetheless. It's not some Leicester where they might just fall off of me. I think they'll keep going and keep producing this high level. Obviously, it's all about them winning the title. I know I've sort of rounded about a bit of everything here, but what a season for Leverkusen. We'll talk heaps more in depth on the podcast about our thoughts of what they've done this season. Xabi Alonso, the future of the players, the future of the manager. But I just had to make this reaction video. The first non-Bayern Munich title winner in over 11 years, since Borussia Dortmund way back when, 12 years ago. So fair play to Leverkusen. Their first top division title in over 120 years, coming off the back of some of the most poor seasons there in 21-22 and starting the 22-23 season. Xabi Alonso is a mastermind. probably up there now in the top 5, top 6 managers in the world. Absolutely deserving nonetheless. Hope you enjoyed this video, guys. Please be sure to smash a like on it. Subscribe to the Player Zone channel for more content like this, reaction video, podcast videos, real life football video, Euro and Copa America content coming as well. So much here on the channel. We're building some consistency and hoping to try and get to 500 subscribers. So if you can help us get there, that would be much appreciated. I hope you enjoy the rest of the day. For those Leverkusen supporters watching, congratulations. Enjoy the next few weeks and hopefully you can secure that treble in the final DFB Pokal against FCK. Looking through to the quarterfinals of Europa League. So much more to be excited about for you guys. Condolences to Bayern fans. It is a rebuilding look like for you next season. And then I hope you enjoy the rest of the day and the rest of the football action to come to the end of the season because we've got a lot more excitement to come. With that all being said, ladies and gents, I hope you have a great day and I'll see you guys in another video very, very soon. Till next time, guys. See you later.